Yep, go.
Good? Alright. Hello everyone. My topic is social media at workplaces. My name is John. Okay, I actually chose this topic based on a case study I did recently for class. First, I would like to go over what social media is. Social media is defined as media for social interaction, using highly accessible communication techniques such as Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn to turn communication into interactive dialogue. So when it comes to social media and organization, you either fall into sick of hearing all the hype related to social media about what they can do for your firm, or you are frustrated that company doesn't trust you enough to allow you to have access to social media. It has been proven that companies are trying to block off employees' access to social media. However, it doesn't work. Employees will always find a way around it. So that leads us to this question. Do you think employees should have access to social media network? Dan?
I think they should be able to have some limited access, but it has to be during the right times of the day, like lunch and breaks, so they're not doing it instead of working.
I agree. Here are some pros and cons of access to allowing employees to have access to social media. Some pros would be trust, better connection with clients, increased employee engagement, and better communication. Obviously, by allowing access to social media, it shows that organizations shows trust in their employees, which can increase their job satisfaction and obviously increase the productivity if they're satisfied. Second, better connection with clients. Clients can become more aware of organizations' events, so they can get more engaged with the firm. Increase employees' engagement and better communication. It will be easier for employees to communicate with each other. Be easier and quicker. Emails can be too formal sometimes and can be too slow to get response from each other. Some cons would be reduced productivity, time waster, run and inappropriate exposure, and virus. However, reduced productivity and time waster can be dropped in this case. When a company is hiring, in their hiring process, they get to pick and choose whoever they want to hire. In this case, when they hire them, they show that they trust whoever they're hiring ability to perform to their talents. And here's the video I'm going to show you guys. This video is about an interview on a senior VP. Talks about how big firms allow their employees to have access to social media.
Believe it or not, a lot of companies are actually blocking employees from accessing social media within the organization. I say believe it or not, actually the last report that I read said 57% of companies in America still don't let their employees access Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Well, today we're going to ask Aaron Lieberman-Moran, who's a senior VP at the Great Place to Work Institute, the institute that chooses the 100 best companies to work for. Aaron, is that a good policy to block employees from accessing social media sites?
Typically among the 100 best, they're not doing it.
They're not.
And in fact, they're trying to leverage those sites to further extend their brand. So an example of this would be Ernst & Young, and you would think a Big Four accounting firm probably pretty staunch with their practices, really conservative, particularly given the nature of their work. And in fact, they are encouraging the use of Facebook, primarily as a recruiting tactic for that younger generation, the Gen Yers, because that's where they're going to try to get information about possible organizations that they would interview with. And so what they're doing is that they're inviting their employees to describe a day in their life and continue to, throughout the day, talk about different audiences that they have. So they're even encouraging that because they have such high levels of trust in their employees that they want them to be talking about it out into the world.
But this is interesting because I was at your conference in Denver a couple of weeks ago, and somebody raised their hand during my session on social media and said, wait a minute, why shouldn't we block employees from these social media sites? Aren't they wasting a lot of time out there? What do you say to the senior leaders that say, I'm not going to let them go to Facebook, I'm not going to let them go to YouTube because they're wasting time that should be spent on it?
Well, if you're hiring great talent, then you need to trust them to make the right kinds of decisions. If you're not monitoring their bathroom time, you're not monitoring their time in the lunchrooms, you're not, hopefully, you're not doing those kinds of things. And so you've got to take a look at the overall trust that you have in employees and determine that they're going to need to make the decisions throughout the day that best accommodates them. If you're holding them accountable to their performance, when and how they get their work done.
Okay, so she was talking about how trust, you have to trust your employees. Okay, so some facts about social media at work. About 48% of the company allows social media usage. 27% actively monitor social media. 44% do not have a social media policy. And 31% have used disciplinary action regarding this topic. So 4 things to consider when it comes to, companies should consider when it comes to social media at work. Purpose, portability, naming, and personality. So why businesses are turning into social media? They can monitor conversations about themselves, keeping up to date on their industry, give improved customer service, drive more web traffic, gain customer feedbacks and opinions, and move positive information to the top. So what is portability? It refers to who owns what related to social media and whether the intellectual capital related to social media moves with employees when they leave the company. So here's a question and a scenario I created. Do accounts used in any way for company purpose belong to the employee or the company? A scenario would be Mike, who's working for BBC, gained 10,000 followers on his Twitter account, which is BBC Mike during his 10 years at BBC. So when he leaves, does the followers belongs to the company or Mike? Anyone want to take a stab at this?
I'm guessing the company,
The company? What's your reason for that?
because he's using the brand name in his Twitter name.
Okay. I said it could be, it depends on the situation. If Mike's using the account for the company's purpose, then it should be the followers should belong to the company. But if Mike's using it for his personal use, then it should belong to Mike. And this is another question that relates to the previous question. Who owns the network is established by an employee on company time. It's the same concept. If it's used for company purpose, then it should belong to the company. Naming is the third thing that companies should consider when it comes to social media at work. There's 3 types of social media under naming. Totally personal, totally corporate, or a mix of both personal and corporate. And here's an example of personal. Be like tweets about your personal life, like such as making toast this morning, or it's really foggy out. That could be personal. And corporate, in this case I used Pizza Hut. Someone in their corporate tweet about the advertising, like how their promotion, $10 any pizza is back, some stuff like that. You can pretty much advertise on your firm. That's considered corporate, not personal. And mixture of both. In this case, I used senior HR manager at Zappos. She can be talking about her son's soccer game and while saying something about her Zappos. So that could be a mixture of both. And then lastly, personality. So after determining purpose, portability, and naming of using the social media at work, the last thing is personality. First is control over personnel. You need to select someone that put their business in front, not their self-interest. They need to maximize their firm's interest in creating a website and not create the website for themselves. And frequency is how often the firm posts or tweet or blog things, and how often customers ask questions, and how often the firm answers questions, which create obviously the more you post and the more you post a blog, you generate more website traffic, which is good for the company. So in conclusion, social media continues to grow. Thousands of customers join networks every day, and unlimited contact to customers through social media sites, and employees can positively represent the brand. Any questions, comments?